oral communication in context with a tutor tandem, Nova Dolor B. Pilayo from SDO Bago City and Alvin R. Lim from SDO Pampanga. 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world with a tutor tandem, Florence de Vera from SDO Angeles City and Jocelyn C. from SDO Quezon City. Creative writing with a tutor tandem, Kit A. Nadado from SDO Tarlac Province and Jericel E. Corpuz from SDO Isabela. And reading and writing skills with a tutor tandem, Jason A. Lechido, SDO Tagum, and Zen Margendive, SDO Agusan del Sur. Our senior high school tutors are high-caliber teachers from different divisions with one goal, ang maitulay ang pagkatuto sa gitna ng pandemya.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Wow, that was a good one. Hi, Sir Jess.
Zen. Yes.
Hello, Sir
How are you
Jess.
today?
Mm,
Oh, I'm so
great. A
excited
little
to
bit
hear
busy.
it from you.
I'm also excited, Sir
Hi,
Jess, to have
Jennifer.
you.
So, yeah,
Mm,
no,
yes.
thank you, no, Director Ken, for having
And
us here. No, as always, our director for reading and writing skill.
mhm.
Zen.
Yes, that's right,
So,
Sir Jess. Yes, thank you so much also, Sir Jess. And what about your afternoon, Sir Jess? Kumusta ka dyan?
I'm good. Actually, katatapos lang namin mag-recording no sa aming kung sa research ng mga bata no sa Filipino din. Na rin ako for sa
Mm.
likultura namin.
Yes, I see. Yes, that's right, Sir
Yes.
Jess. And you know what, Sir Jess? Even though it's a holiday for the country, still we continue having our session for DepEd ETUlay for our dear learners.
Tamang-tama
Our
talaga yan,
yes.
Churuzen. So,
Uh-huh.
no, even it's difficult in us we have the different platforms, so blended, no, yung mga bata.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, no, teachers, we still on the go pa rin. Just like, no, sa motto ng ating scouting ng, okay,
Yes,
what's a
that's
scout,
right.
always a scout. Laging handa lahat.
Mm. Wow, are you having your Girl Scout, Boy Scout in the
Hmm.
researches? I
Okay.
see.
Cheers.
All
So
right.
ano bang ating what's our topic this afternoon? Okay, shall we
Yes.
present now our
Yes, Sir Jess.
presentation?
Yeah, sure, Sir Jess. But before we go to our lesson, I would just like to greet our
Hmm.
learners for today's session. And kahit hindi pa tayo nagsisimula, no, we can already see comments in here coming from Renz Giver Calyanta, Rovi Reyes, and Enrico Dalupan. Hello sa inyong lahat and Baby
Hi.
Grace Podador from Anislaga National High School. So hello sa ating lahat, no?
Okay.
Hindi lang dito in the Mindanao but also in the entire Philippines, and welcome to DepEd ETUlay online tutorial for reading and writing skills. Hashtag ETUlay level up
Yes.
and hashtag ETUlay pinasaya. There you go, Sir
Okay.
Jess. And also for our
Mhm.
learners, here is our episode guide for the second quarter. from 4:40 p.m. to 5:20 p.m. We are in this part already. That's on the third week for this quarter, and that's formulating
Okay.
evaluative statements. Yes, we're through
Okay,
already with the
pa-share muna
critical
ang
reading.
yung ating PPT, Tutor Zen, andyan ba sa iyo? Hindi pa kasi
Okay.
na-share. So,
Oh, I see.
while
Wait,
having
wait.
the sharing with
Mm-hmm.
our tutor, no? So, thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much, our directors, and
Mm-hmm.
especially, no, sa ating head, no? And, andyan yung sila, Sir Mark C. and also Mark Hamisal, sir. So,
Yes,
thank you
the
so
father
much
of the
po. And to all other
correct.
directors, yes,
Mm-hmm.
spearheading this time.
This
Okay?
program, yes, Sir Jess.
Diyan
So
na ba?
here we go. Sir Jess,
Mm.
can you now see my screen?
Hindi pa? Okay, now
Okay.
presenting. Yes, kita-kita ko na, Tutor
Yes.
Zen.
All right. So there you go. Let me just repeat it once again, Sir Jess. Now, this is our episode guide for the reading and writing skills subject, and for our learners, we are already in this part. We are in the third week already, and that's on formulating evaluative statements. All right. There
Yes.
you go. And for our references in this session, we would like to thank this SDOs. Suki na talaga, Sir Jess, no? From Region 7, Negros Oriental.
Yes.
Yes, and from Region 4A, Calabarzon. And for this session, we added the modules coming from Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula. Ayan. I love their
Okay,
cover
ayan.
pages,
So,
Sir Jess.
marami tayong mga references. Nakatutulong para sa
Yes.
atin para sa mga bata.
Yes, not only for us, but most importantly to our learners, Sir Jess. And
Ayan.
also, let us not forget this date. Today's November 30, 2021, and today's the celebration of Bonifacio Day for the country.
Yes, tamang-tama
Yes.
talaga, Tutor Zen, no? Kahit na tayo nasa bahay ngayon, lahat, no? Nakikitutok, no? And nakikisama sa ating pamilya, alalahanin din natin, no?
Yes, sir.
Yung ating
Mm-hmm.
Bonifacio Day.
Yes,
Because
and
he was once, no, one of the heroes din natin na
yes.
nakipagdigma para sa ating kalayaan.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right, Sir Jess. Andres Bonifacio is one of the significant individuals in the history. Like Bonifacio formed the Katipunan. He started the Katipunan that
Yes,
was,
tama.
yes, a secret organization against the Spanish colonization. Ayan.
Tama, tama.
And also,
Thank you.
from our last session, Sir Jess, we have in here, we would like to
Wow!
congratulate, yes, we have in here Renz Giver Calyanta from
Woohoo!
Imelda Integrated
Yes.
Secondary School, Malabon City.
Oh, yan.
Yes.
So later on, bigyan natin siya ng ating regalo, ng ating
Mm-hmm.
Christmas gift para sa
Christmas gift.
kanya, no? Kasi
Yes.
very participative last time ng ating session.
Mm-hmm. That's right,
Thank you
Sir
so much.
Jess.
So, no,
Yes.
forward mo na sa akin yung number 10. Kaya we shall have the communication na lang
Mm.
to him, no, para
Yes.
mapadala na natin yung ating munting regalo.
Gift reward. Yes, that's right, Sir Jess. And once again, congratulations, Renz Giver Calyanta. Kasi in our previous session, we had instructed that whosoever gets the most stars from the session will get a
Yes.
reward.
Tama.
Yan. So
Tama.
that's
I do hope
Renz.
nandito siya na ngayon, no? Nakitutok din sa
Yes,
atin.
Sir Jess.
Then,
He's with us
so,
today.
thank you so much, friends. So, yung mga classmate mo, i-invite nyo rin, at saka yung mga teachers,
Mm.
lahat-lahat na, pamilya, kapamilya, kapuso.
Yes, Sir Jess. They
Lahat-lahat
will
na,
not just
kapatiran,
learn, Sir
all
Jess,
of.
kasi. Mm-mm. They will not just learn kasi. They will also win. Parang ganyan. It's
Yeah,
like
tamang-tama
killing two
yun.
birds
Para
with one
maging
stone.
masaya, no? Yes! Fun and learning.
Yes. That's right, Sir Jess. And there,
Congratulations,
yeah,
friends!
congratulations, Renz, and good job for that. Good job from the
Yeah.
previous session.
Thank
Now
you.
let's go now
Patuloy mo
to
lang yan.
our, yes, papatuloy mo lang yan, Renz, ha? Since we will be having another set of activities for this session. Now, what are our goals for this session? At the end of this session, the learners, you, are expected to first recall and relate their understanding in the previous session. Ano yung mga natutunan nyo from the previous session? Number two, describe evaluative statement. What is the meaning of evaluative statement? Third,
Yeah.
identify logical evaluation that corresponds to given statements. And lastly, formulate evaluative statements about a text read. Na magpo-formulate na kayo ng evaluative
Yes.
statement. Yes. And with that, Sir Jess, let's try to have first a recap on what we discussed last time. It's supposed to be in the
Yeah.
assessment, but we will having this one in the review. Now, this is the first question. Our dear participants, you can just write down in the comment section your answers for each question. Let's have number one. Get ready. Fact, convention, opinion, and preference are common types of assertion used in A. Identifying assertion, B. Determining evidences, C. Counterclaim, or D. None of the above. Hala.
Go, go, go.
Go, dear learners. Ano kaya ang sagot dyan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excited na rin ako. Okay,
Mhm.
alam ko ng
And
sagot.
and so our learners also have be try to get the highest scores, the highest score rather for this session so that you can get the reward after this. Hi Enrico Dalupan, and for Enrico it's letter B. Mhm.
Wow.
Okay. What about
Oh,
for the
i-reveal
others?
natin, Churun.
Uh-huh. Yes, let's try to check the
Sige.
answer for number 1.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh!
Number 1, that's letter A.
Eh,
Identifying
ayan.
assertion. Yes.
Identifying assertion. Okay.
Yes, yung types of assertion na to ginagamit natin to identify the assertion of the writer in the text. Yan.
Yeah, tama.
Let's go to number 2. Hedges are used to be courteous in expressing what? A. Evidence. B. Counterclaims. C. Assertions. Or D. Critical reading. Our dear learners, saan natin ginagamit tong hedges? If you can still recall in the previous session, we use this in expressing our blank. Is it A, B, C, or D? Mm-hmm.
Go!
Go! Example nga nito, Sir Jess, no? Yung
Sige.
mga models like May.
Oh,
Mm,
tama. Tama talaga.
yes.
Sige,
Mm-hmm.
alam ko sagot.
We still have here Enrico, the Lupan, it's letter C. What about the others? Saan natin kayo ito
Go.
ginagamit? Okay, let's check. Okay, we have here B, A. Let's try to check. All
Go.
right. Uh-huh. The for number 2, that's letter B, counterclaims. If you can still recall, pag
Yeah.
yes, in the previous session, no, our dear participants, you have to maintain courtesy in trying to express your counterclaim to the text that you are reading.
Tama.
Like hindi pwedeng bastos, or dapat polite yung dating natin kapag if for example disagree tayo sa idea ng author. So we have to use hedges. Okay.
Yeah, tama.
Number 3. Okay, Sir Jess, would you like to have number 3?
Okay. All right. Number 3. Critical reading is not to criticize, but to assess the validity of the text. A. True. B. False. C. Both A and B. D. Not so sure.
Yes.
What is your
Not so
answer?
sure. Ano kaya
Hi,
sagot dyan?
Shane. Good afternoon, Ma'am Zen and Sir Jess. Yes, from Anislagan.
The
Yes, ito yung
National
mga
High
kuan mo,
School.
Sir Zen.
Yes, that's right, Sir
Hi,
Jess.
thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And
According to Renz daw, it's true.
it's
So, letter
true.
A,
What
yung gusto
letter?
niya.
Okay, that's A for Renz. What about the others? Haha.
Galing talaga,
Again ha, sa ating
Enrico.
mga learners,
Dalupan
you
A
try to
din.
collect, yeah, you try to collect scores kasi kayo yung mabibigyan ng reward natin in this session. And we have from Enrico,
Yes.
A. Let's try now to check your
Yeah,
answers.
tingnan natin. Yes, true.
Yay! Yes, that's
Tama
right.
talaga. Tama sila
Mhm.
Shane, Enrico, Renz. Very good.
Yeah, very good. Very good, students. Yes, no, yung purpose natin sa critical reading not to criticize, but it's more like para ma-assess
Mm,
natin kung true ba siya or hindi. Okay,
tama.
good. Number 4. Interaction with the text is not necessary in evaluating judgment. A, is it true? B, false? C, both A and B? Or D, none of the above? No?
Okay, tingnan
Kailangan ba
natin.
natin makipag-interact sa text? Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
According to Shane, it's true daw, true daw.
True. Yeah.
Sige.
Okay. What about the
Rents is
others?
false.
False. Let's try now to check your
Sige, reveal
answer.
natin.
Reveal natin.
Okay.
Aha! Very good. Very good. Yes,
It's
that's
false.
false. Yes. No, we really have to interact with the text kapag nag-i-evaluate tayo. Like
Tama.
for example, you could ask yourself or you could ask from the text na what what could be the main goal of the writer in writing this text? Or what is the assertion presented by the author in his text? Yun. Kaya false yung sagot natin.
Yun.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Last one, number 5. How about you, Sir Jess?
Which of the following is a body of facts given by authors to support their claims? A.
Mhm.
Counterclaim. B. Evidence. C. Opinion. D. None of the above. Go, go,
Hihi, sa ating
go.
mga learners, ano kayang sagot dyan? Body of facts na binibigay
Oh,
ng
according to
authors.
Renz, evidence daw. So it's letter B.
Evidence. Okay, Renz, that's letter
Enrico
B.
din, B.
What about the others? May dadagdag pa?
Sige daw, be.
Okay,
Tingnan natin ang
let's
tamang sagot.
try. Now, for this one,
It's letter Yay!
B.
Very
Congratulations. Yes,
good!
1 point again.
Congratulations!
Yes, and to our dear
Yes.
learners, kindly comment down your scores that you got from this activity. Okay? Ren,
Yes! I-comment
Tin,
ninyo kung
and
ilang
Enrico.
scores, no?
Yes, that's right. Para makita
Sige,
namin
thank you
ni
so much.
Tutor
3 out
Test.
of 5. Yes, great job. So since it's naman
Wow.
talaga, no? And you can have the review and everything that you
Mhm.
have, no? Especially
Yes,
last time yung ating discuss po ng ating lessons. Okay, very good, very good.
very good. That's 3 out of
Okay,
5.
thank
No,
you.
good job. Okay, now let's
Good
go
job.
now, Sir Jess, to the next one. Okay. Now I have a question in here, our dear learners. If your parents would ask you what you want as Christmas gift, what would it be? Ayan, the
Hmm,
million-dollar
anong gusto
question.
ninyo?
Mm. Comment na yung mga gusto niyo for
Sige.
Christmas. Baka marinig ng ating mga Santa
Hmm,
Clauses. Alright? Uh-huh.
yes. Ano
Yes.
kaya?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Or
learners,
para
anong gusto ninyong makuha?
ano kayo gusto na makuha? Or to help you with that, I have here the gifts that maybe you would like to have for Christmas. The first one
Hmm,
is brand new laptop and cell phone.
wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
The next one is
Pwede.
a plane ticket for international
Hmm,
travel.
I
Wow.
would like that one.
Gusto- or you could have the dollar bills or money.
Ooh,
Oh wow. And
I
the
like that
last
one
one is
also.
the last option that I have in here is shopping spree. Like, what is shopping spree?
Shopping.
Oo, yan. Yung bibigyan kayo ng
Okay.
oras na to
Hmm.
buy anything that you want. There's no limit as long as you will buy that within that time. That's what we call shopping spree.
Hmm.
Now, sa ating learners,
Yes.
alin
The
kaya dito yung
best.
gusto nyo?
Mm.
From Renz,
Pili-pili. Go.
yes, according to Renz, Game Diamonds yung gusto niya. Wow, gamer ata
Wow.
to si Renz.
Whew.
Mhm. What about
Yes.
kay
Sino pa may
Enrico?
gusto?
Oh, yan. Mhm.
Bibigyan namin. Joke.
What about you, Sir
Okay.
Jess? Anong gusto mo dyan sa options na yan?
Gusto ko talaga yung pag-travel. Tsaka,
Wow! And
okay, di
what is your
ba?
what
Sabi,
what
kung okay lang
destination would
sana
you
yung
like to
ating
have?
panahon, di ba? Mm,
Yeah, without
because I
the
want exploration, I want
mm,
adventures, I want to visit other countries as well. No.
mm, I agree with you, Sir
Yes.
Jess. Travel while we are
Mm.
still young.
Oh,
Yan.
because
Uh-huh.
kuha naman ginahimo naman nato na no, we're doing that one kaya we have that one also nasa kanang cellphone, no, laptop.
And we can have the shopping spree in here.
Sa money
Like in the
lang.
Philippines. Ah,
Sa money lang.
okay. Yeah.
Wala
Yeah,
na
so
tayong
much for
money.
wala tayong ay,
Mm.
yun. So yun na yun, Sir Jess, sa Game Diamonds or
Sige.
kay Sir Jess, that's for travel. Now, I'd like to ask our learners, pag pumili ka doon ng isa, for example, you said you want money, you want dollar bills. Try nating
Mm.
ilagay yung posisyon ng yung sarili natin sa posisyon ng ating mga parents. Like if you were your parents, what do you think would they tell you after knowing your choice? Ayan. Ano kaya sasabihin ng parents niyo, our dear learners, if they knew na gusto mo yung bagay na yan, sa tingin niyo? Sa tingin mo, Sir Jess,
Ano
anong
kaya?
sasabihin ng parents mo?
Hmm. Maybe they will agree or disagree. Kung
Ah.
meron lang sana or ibibigay ba sa iyo agad or meron bang kondisyon, ganyan. Yung mga possible.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
What about sa ating mga learners? Para
Tingnan natin mga learners kung
mhm,
ano ang mga possible statements kaya
na galing
that
sa
you may
parents
hear
niyo.
from them, no?
Yes, that's right.
After nyo matanggap or gusto nyo matanggap galing sa kanila.
Mm. Yes. And
No,
I
pare-pareho lang
already
siguro, no, Churizen.
yes, and yeah, with what you had said earlier, Sir Jess, about your parents na, "Ay wala tayo niyan, puwedeng iba na lang." Baka
Ah,
ganyan.
according to Renz,
And
oh, 'di ba? 'Yun yung
oh,
condition. Mag-aral po muna ng mabuti. Yan. Sa
wow.
kondisyon,
That's
mag-aral ng mabuti.
oo.
Bibigyan ka ng laptop pag gagamitin mo ito sa pag-aaral, hindi mag-games-games. Mayan
Mhm.
ang
That's
games-games.
actually a
So
good
mag-aral na
condition.
mabuti. Unahin mo na ang modules, 'di ba?
Yes,
Tsaka
unahin
yung mga
muna ang
requirements tsaka
study.
outputs.
That's right, Sir Jess. Oh, yan. So no,
Okay.
when we are asked with this question, it's like we are having a reflection or parang recollection of the things na or statements na sasabihin sa parents natin. So yung mga statements na yon na
Tama.
na-formulate in your mind that could be stated by your parents once they knew what you want for Christmas, yun yung examples ng evaluative statements. Yan.
Yes, tama.
Yes.
Sige,
And there you go.
Churizen.
We have the topic formulating evaluative statements. And as you can see in our background, Sir, just now, it's more like, or it's related to games kasi nga, inspired ako sa games ngayon because of Ren's. Yan. Mm-mm. And what does evaluative statement mean? So, evaluative statement is a statement that you can make to reflect your judgment and generalization about the text that you have read. So, pag sinabi natin evaluative statement, ito na yung sentences natin. Ito na yung the moment that we expressed our judgment about something that we are focusing into. Like, for example, our reading material. Yes. Dito na yun makikita natin yung reflection ng ating judgment about the text. That's
Yes,
what
tama.
evaluative statement mean. Okay? And if we talk about evaluative statement, our dear learners, may dalawang klase tayo. The first one is that it's on the assertion. And pag sinabi nating assertion, ito yung statement na from the writer na nag-claim kung yung sa idea ba is true or false. Now, for the assertion, you may use evidence from the text to formulating assertions or positive statements about the content of a text and properties of a text that you have read. So, assertion usually are in the form of positive statements. Like, yung focus mo nasa content at nasa properties. Kib- Um, um, To meaning to say, no, yung focus mo hindi lang dun sa kung ano nilalaman ng text mo. You could also focus at the same time on the properties like paano ba sinulat yung text ng writer? Is it well organized? May organization bang in-apply ng writer? May thesis statement ba? Something like that. Pag sa content naman, may mga evidences ba that the writer has presented? Ganyan. So that's for the assertion. And the next type for evaluative statement is by formulating counterclaims. Ito na, na-discuss na to last time, right, Sir Jess?
Yes.
Mhm. Yes,
Discuss na
and
yan, no?
At pag sinabi natin counterclaims as a recap, this is somewhat like your idea that could be against the idea of the writer whose text you are reading to. Yan. Ito yung against ka sa idea na yan. So that's counterclaims. Assertion is for the positive side. Counterclaims is for negation.
Negation.
That's right, Sir Jess. And pag sinabi naman nating assertion, may tatlo tayong klase. We have basic, emphatic, at language assertion. What could be the differences of these three? Let's start with the basic assertion. Pag sinabing basic assertion, it is a statement used to express the writer's feelings directly, beliefs, and opinions. This is generally used in writing formal papers like thesis and dissertation. Yan. So, among these types of assertions, no, we would actually see expression of the writer's feelings kasi nga yung mga assertion ng writers galing talaga yan sa what do you call this one? Feelings ng mga writers natin. But these assertions, pag sa basic assertion tayo, it's anchored to facts or it's anchored to evidences. Opinions na anchored din sa facts and evidences. Mhm. And in other references, our dear learners, basic assertion can be associated with the types of assertion named convention and facts. Pag convention, yun yung mga laws natin, yung mga traditional statements widely accepted by the society na. That's for the convention. Pag fact, yun yung mga nakikita nating mga statistical data and so on. Yan. So, basic assertion, applicable siya when we write thesis or dissertation or research paper, for instance, for our senior high school students. And we also have the next assertion, the emphatic assertion. Emphatic assertion is a statement used to express empathy or understand the literary author's feelings and emotions. And we consider in the emphatic assertion the situation or the character's feeling from the text that you have read as well as the writer's stand. Ano yung stand ng writer upon reading the text? And emphatic assertion is more applicable to literary texts. Uh-huh. And the last
Yeah,
one,
tama yun.
yes, Sir Jess. And the last one is the language assertion. Pag sinabi nating language assertion, it is a statement used to express feelings and preference of the writer. So, sa language assertion, pwede na tayong gumamit ng I pronoun. Yung basic assertion, we are not allowed to use that one, to use the pronoun I. Applicable siya in this type only. Okay? Yan. So, yun yung three types of assertion natin. Basic assertion, language assertion, and emphatic assertion.
And empathic. Yeah,
Yes.
tama.
That's right, Sir Jess. And so much for that. Let's have this. How are we going to formulate an evaluative statement? Paano na? Paano ba gagawin yan? So there you go. It's in the form of activity again, and to our dear learners, get ready because we will be playing this one
Yeah.
at the same time. You're gonna be learning on how to do or how to write evaluative statements. Let's go. Uh-huh. My round one pa, Sir Jess, no? Okay. Now, for the round one, get ready, learners. Which between the two statements is true in relation to the steps that we're going to take as we formulate evaluative statements. Is it from point one? Point one states like this: one needs to read the entire text carefully and critically to understand and to check for possible fallacies in the argument presented by the writer. Pag sinabi nating fallacies, ito yung mga errors na pwedeng makomit ng writer sa kanyang sinusulat. Or point two, one needs to read only the main parts of the text carefully and critically to understand the text. Fallacies may be disregarded to avoid criticism. Now, sa ating mga learners, which of the two do you think is true? Is it point one or point two? Okay. Sa point two, our dear learners, how you only have to focus on the main parts. On the point one, you have to read the entire text. And we have answer in here coming from Renz. It's point one. And I can also see in here point two. Okay. From Manislaga National High School, point one. Now get ready to check your answers. For round one, it's wow. Congratulations, Renz. 1 point. And the other one, yes, 1 point. The answer is point one. You really have to read the entire text. Wag lang yung main parts. And you check for possible errors. Yan. Steps natin yan ha in formulating evaluative statements. Okay. Wow. Eloisa Texon humahabol ha sa Game Diamonds. Now let's go to round two. Which of the two statement is true? Point one, begin with the negatives before you point out the positives. Pag nag-evaluate ka daw, magsa-start ka in the negative, tsaka na yung positive. Point two, begin with the positives before you point out the negatives. Now, our dear learners, alin dyan kaya yung correct answer or yung true na statement? Is it point one or point two? Yes. And I hope nandito si Sir Jess, no, para ano siya, matanong ko siya kung ano yung prefer niya, mas nauuna ba yung negative or mas mauuna ba yung positive. Ayan. And we have answer from Renz. Once again, it's point one. Begin with the negatives before you point out the positives. What about the others? How about you, Eloisa? Okay. We have point one. There you go. We'll check your answers in here. Aha. Now, for round two, the correct answer or the true statement in here is point two. You start first, pag nag-evaluate ka, with the positive before you point out the negatives. Ayan. Ang ano kasi nito, my explanation kasi ni Torrance, no, or to our dear learners, mas maigi, mas ano na yun, mas convenient na yung nauna yung positive kasi yun yung unang nagre-register sa mind ng taong ini-evaluate natin. Pag nauna kasi yung negative, it's like, yes, you may have given the positives later on, but the effect has, or let's just say, the damage has already been done. Kaya hindi siya dapat yung point one. Dapat doon tayo sa point two. Yan. Good. Now, what about for round three? Alin dito yung true statement? Suggest a solution or solutions or suggestions on how to improve the written material being evaluated and point to emphasize fallacious ideas so that the writer can determine where he or she needs improvement. Kapag nag-i-evaluate ka, aling point kaya dito yung mas appropriate? Do you have to provide solution or emphasize mo talaga na mali yung idea ng writer para siya na mismo maka-realize na kailangan niya ng improvement sa part na yon. Okay, our dear learners, point one or point two? Mm-hmm. All right. And we have Renz again for round 3.1. Uh-huh. And for the others, okay, it's still point one, point one. There you go. Let's try to check your answers. All right, Renz, congratulations. And to the others, Sheen, okay, we have here point one. Mag-suggest ka ng solution, no? Enrico also get the correct answer. Mag-suggest ka ng solution. You provide a solution to the one you have evaluated. Hindi lang yung parang pinapatama mo siya nung mali niya para lang ma-realize niya. It's not good. You really have to give them suggestion para naman mapa-improve na yung text niya. Especially when the writer or the one you have evaluated does not know or is not conscious about the error that he or she has committed. Now, let's go to round 4. Alin dito sa statement na to ang true? Point one, keep your feedback lengthy so that no details are missed out. And two, keep your feedback concise and precise. Alin dito yung mas appropriate? Yung lengthy, talagang verbose, maraming details, or yung point two na concise, brief lang siya, precise pero sakto. Mhm. And we have Darlene Shania Molina, point one. Okay, point one. And I think that's for the round 3. What about for, yes, we have from Arn Diaz, point two. And for Renz, point one. Again, dear learners, gather your scores in here so that you will be rewarded at the end of the session. Now, for round 4, let's check the correct answer. Uh-huh. It's point two. Keep your feedback concise and precise. Wag naman masyadong lengthy yung evaluative statements natin. It's okay to be short as long as it's precise, like the points, everything na include siya, and there's no information that is being missed out. Enrico also got the correct answer for round 4. Let's go to round 5. Ayan. Darlene also. Okay, that's point one. So, round 5, which of the statement is true? Point one, evaluations must be written and expressed with care and much diligence. For point two, evaluations must be written and expressed regardless of the writer's feeling. Parang sa point one, no, the words that you must use in your evaluation must be carefully chosen. Like, do not just select words na pwedeng maka-hurt ng person na ating ina-evaluate. Or for point two, regardless kung ano mang ma-feel niya, as long as makorek mo yung mali niya, kahit anong language paggamitin mo, that's okay. What do you think is true for this statement, for the two statements? Now, we have from Enrico. Yes, you got it correctly, Enrico, earlier. And what for number 5, round 5, we have answers from Renz, point one, Darlene, point two for round 5, and Arndias, point one. Let's try now to check your answers, our dear learners. There you go. Point one is moving, and point one is the correct answer. We must carefully select the words that we're gonna be using para hindi din tayo makasakit. At much diligence kasi we really have to think of those words while we are writing. Ayan. There you go. And that's for the activity. Now, for our dear learners, how much did or how many scores did you get from that activity? Hello, Arn Diaz. You can also write down your schools para ma-shout out din natin in this session. Okay. I'm waiting for your scores, our dear learners. And congratulations once again. I'm excited na makita kung sino man yung mabibigyan ulit natin ng reward dito. Now, for Renz, we have 3. Okay, the score of 3. All right. And earlier you got three Rens, right? What about the others? Now, so much for that. I'm gonna be waiting in the comment section, our dear learners. Now here we go. We have here a sample situation wherein evaluation is given to a learner. Now, try nating basahin tong text na to. A student was tasked to compose a poem that would express his thoughts and feelings about various events around him. For example, si Darlene tong binigyan ng task na to. Ano yung mga na-observe mo in your surroundings, Darlene? And you write that one for a poem. After a while, he submitted it to his teacher. Ay, si Darlene to, kaya her tayo. After a while, she submitted it to her teacher before the set deadline. As the teacher evaluated her output, she was impressed about the way the student wrote his concrete poem using the shape of a dove as the poem structure to help the readers to easily understand the meaning of her writing. Now we have the word in here concrete poem. And our learners, concrete poem follows the structure of what is the content of your poem. Like for example, kung gusto nyo yung hope, yes, you could write a poem na in the form of a dove, in the form of a cross, or any object that you can associate with the word hope. And that's also related with the content of the poem. That's concrete poetry. Surprisingly, she chose a theme about the 2019 coronavirus disease that gives hope to the readers who may be affected by the pandemic. In addition to this, a good physical and grammatical arrangement of words were evidently shown. May mga figurative language na ginamit, and the grammatical construction of the student is also good. Wow, grabe ha. However, the teacher found out that the poem was written in forced rhyme that may have caused him to use inappropriate words. Now, ito yung error ni student, no? Maybe nagsusulat siya ng poem with rhyme, tapos para lang mapilit, para lang with rhyme yung poem, pinipilit yung mga salita kahit hindi naman siya appropriate. Since the teacher wanted to improve the writing skill of the student, she then suggested to consider the use of appropriate language over rhyme to better connect with the audience. Now, our dear learners, pag kayo yung si teacher, how will you evaluate the work of the student? Yan. Paano kaya siya, no? Paano kaya siya i-evaluate na hindi masasaktan yung student? Kasi ang ganda-ganda na ng poem niya. It's the languages used are correct. Ang ganda nga ng language. In fact, but paano mo siya i-approach na hindi ka makakasakit? So this is an example for that. For example, I'm the teacher and I'm saying this. You compose an impressive poem. It has a good physical and grammatical arrangement of words that enhance the reader's overall experience. Another good thing is that your chosen theme is very timely that gives hope to the readers in this time of pandemic. When it comes to the elements of poetry, you used figurative language and imagery that added spice to the overall quality of your composition. Wow, parang nakaka-relate si Renz. Bakit, Renz? Did you also receive the same compliment, the same statement from your teacher? Wow, galing naman ha. And I believe that you are both classmates or your classmates with Darlene Shanaya Molina. Ayan, nakaka-relate silang dalawa. Oh, yan. So, as what we can see in the example, we are starting our evaluation or our evaluative statement with positive. Now, another continuation for that, these literary devices stir up and startle the reader's imagination. Furthermore, the choice of writing a concrete poetry, a poetry of which visual appearance matches the topic of the poem, thus concrete poetry, with a dove as the shape of the poem structure contributes a lot in understanding the meaning of the poem. Ayan, yun yung mga positive comments na ni teacher, no? And there you go. Yan, nagsimula siya with the positive feedback. Specifying the strengths of the poem. Yun yung mga strengths ng poem na sinulat ni Darlene. Now, let's go to the second paragraph. This is the time now that you're going to mention the weaknesses that you found in the piece. Hi, Sir Jess. Okay. Hello,
Oh,
all.
hello.
Yes.
Challenging, no?
Are you
Na-off lang
okay in
yung kuan
there?
dito. Nawala kasi parang umuulan kasi so parang na kuan
Oh.
yung ating internet connection. But still, no, naghanap tayo ng paraan. Alternative para
Yes.
makakuha tayo ng net. Data lang tayo.
Yes, Sir Jess. Ano, ay,
Hi! Good afternoon, ma'am and sir. Watching from Islagan.
again,
Ito pa rin
National
si
High
Mark
School.
Guzman.
Parang ano na, ha? Feeling ko makaka-receive ng joke lang.
Yes!
Yes.
Congratulations!
Now for the second, yes, Sir Jess. So for the second one, for the second paragraph now, it's being emphasized in here the weaknesses of the poem submitted by Diane. Diane ba yung name niya? Darlene rather. Now, let's read this one. However, the rhyme of your writing is forced. It seems that the words were chosen for the sake of having a rhyming effect that somehow affects the emotional connection between the reader and the poem itself. Yun yung na-observe ni teacher. Yan. Don't forget to mention that one also when you're making your evaluation. Now, to improve your work, this is now for the third paragraph. To improve your work, you should be careful in choosing the appropriate words to be used rather, to best express the meaning and emotions you would like the readers to understand and feel. It should be considered over the rhyme of the poem. Yan na yung mga suggestions ni teacher. Remember, a poem may or may not have a rhyme, but if you choose to have one, the meaning and the emotional appeal of the poem should not be compromised. In this way, you can have a good connection with the readers and would therefore make them appreciate your poem more. Yan. Yung suggestion na ni teacher in her evaluative statement para ma-improve yung poem ni Darlene. Ayan. Hello, Darlene Shanaya from Imelda Integrated Secondary School. Hello, gang. Okay. Langga, that's in Bisaya. It's like an endearment. Hello, Langga. Okay. Now, let's now have another activity. And for our learners, this is the directions. Read each item carefully and answer the following questions. Choose the letter of the reasonable and logical evaluation. May 3 points kayong igagather dito. Let's now try to have this one. Pili lang kayo ha sa mga letters kung ano yung logical at reasonable evaluation that would correspond to the statement. Okay. Are you ready, Sir Jess?
Yes, I'm ready. I'll always be
Okay.
ready. I'm just
Yes.
supporting you.
Okay. Now here we go for number one. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Senior high school students should apply
Okay.
cosmetics. Yes, in going to school. We have here letter A. I agree if it would be appropriate and in moderation. Number two,
Mm,
letter B. I disagree because students do not need that to achieve better grades.
yes.
C, yes, of course. And D, all of the above. Oh, alin dito sa mga letters na to yung may connection,
Yes.
yes, logical evaluation dun sa ano natin, sa statement. Okay.
Okay,
And we
let's
have
reveal.
from Darlene and yes, A for Darlene, B for Renz. Now, actually, students
Mm,
know most of these answers would probably be correct, but we will be choosing the best evaluation. Ayan.
mm.
Mhm. Okay,
Go.
go. And the answer for this one is ta-da-dan,
Letter A.
letter A. I agree if it would be appropriate and in moderation. Hindi ka makakaano ng
Mm,
sa statement na yan, you will not be able to hurt somebody else or you
mm.
have provided your reasons for the statement. Okay, number two.
Okay.
Yes, Sir
Thank
Jess?
you.
Yes, you may.
Sige, so since we still have ano ito, 5 minutes na lang daw pero sige, kaya natin ito. For number two, all students must have new smart cell phones for the online classes. A, yes, I agree because it will be helpful. B, I disagree. A new laptop would be better for online classes. C, I disagree because practically students can make use of what they already have. D, I agree because I also want to have one.
There you go. Our dear learners, what do you think is the correct answer for number two? Ayan. Kailangan ba talaga ng smart cellphones? Let's try to check your answers. Okay, oh, okay, there you go. Now for number 2, it's letter C. Ito yung best evaluative statement for that. Yes, and you got correct. You got it correctly, Renz. It's letter C, no? Practically saying students can make use of what they already have. Pwede natin gamitin yung mga nasa atin na. Yan. Hindi pwedeng ibenta yung kalabaw para lang sa cellphone. Darlene, you also got the correct answer. Ayan.
Okay,
Yeah.
sige,
Let's have number
Cheruzen.
3. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Students will not learn from modular classes compared to face classes. A. Students can still learn when consistently done and with the help of household partners. B. Students will not learn that much. C. I agree. Face-to-face classes are better. D. I disagree. Modular classes include everything that needed to be answered. Alin kaya dito yung best evaluative statement? Yan. Yung
Go!
yung B natin, Sir Jess, no, hindi siya nagpo-provide ng reasons niya. Sabi lang niya, he will not learn that much for modular classes. But we still have, okay. Yeah, for Renz is letter A for, what about for Darlene?
Okay, wala pa. Okay, correct answer is letter A.
Yes,
Very good, Renz.
very
Very
good,
good, all
Renz.
of you. Mm-mm.
Yes, we can still learn despite this modular classes that we have, as long as we are consistent with our jobs, with our tasks.
Okay,
Mhm. Yes,
sige.
and there
So,
you go. So much for that activity. How many scores did you get
yes.
from the last activity? And kindly add your scores if you may, our dear
Yes.
learners, so that we can figure
Yan.
out. Yes,
Yes.
our winner.
Sige.
Now we
Okay,
have here the
Cheruzen.
challenge of the week, yes or Jess. And for our learners, you can screenshot this one. This is our challenge of the week. Fill in a table with an evaluative statement based on the given text or situation. Now we have here a
Mm-mm.
sample situation. If you are not so smart, you should try to be a teacher. An evaluative statement yan, for example, if you are giving your evaluation for that statement, you would say the statement is very discriminative against those with average intelligence and teachers in general. Yes, I agree with that statement kasi nga no, parang nag-discriminate na siya ng isang individual. And for the classification, you just identify if it's negative or positive. Again, sa ating
Positibo.
mga learners, you try now to screenshot this one and you can send this via as a message in Facebook, your answer for
Mm-mm.
this activity. Now, yung
Yes,
ano
so,
natin, yes or Jess, yung ipapa-fill in natin yung nasa yung second situation. Teenagers' happiness nowadays just depends on the likes and reactions they get from social media. Ganun ba
yes.
yung happiness natin, mga kabataan? Nagdidepende na lang ba sa likes and reactions sa Facebook? Ayan. So you
Mm-mm.
try to formulate your evaluative statement that for that, and then you also identify if it's negative or positive. Yan,
Okay.
sir. Yan, as
Sige.
Sir
So,
Jess.
I know na, ando naman yan no, sa ilang modules. So, kita nyo yan.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Sige. So, Cheruzen,
Mm-hmm. And also, by the way, Sir Jess, Renz, and Darlene got 2 stars for the last activity. Congratulations for that one. You add your score ha, tapos
congratulations.
i-comment nyo. All right. There you go, Sir Jess. So much for that for this afternoon. Thank you so much once again, our dear participants, for being with us and for learning with us. Again, before I end the session, let me leave you with a saying that we are just travelers in the lane of love and learning. Down the road, we will surely meet again. Magkikita at magkikita tayo. What about you, Sir Jess?
Yes, and Churujess, no, from SDO Tagum City, and Churuzen from SDO Agusan del Sur. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for having us here, and next time around our session, and stay tuned, because we still have many rewards for you, and very good that you're having this time. And
Yes.
also to our directors, mabuhay po kayong lahat, and don't forget Churuzen, our next tutor.
Yes, we have Tutor DJ for the speech class. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Darlene, Renz, and Enrico, and the rest of you all. God bless everyone and have a
God
nice day.
bless. Take good care. Take good care.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!